Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm gonna go over my RX0 overclocks with PB Farmers firmware, and this is the update after close to probably 1.5 days now. You could see a day and 15 hours here on this machine, a day and 14 hours here, so pretty close to 1.5 day that I've been getting the hash after overclocking, and kind of want to see where we at with I have 5 machines running on different settings, and also on the pool. What's important here, just to check the hash rate on the pool 24 hours. Now I don't have full hash rate 24 hours on this machine because I've been really increasing recently very little by little clocks, because it would crash after a certain point, because if I put right away like 3 overclocks here, 350, and where's my second machine right here, sorry, and at the voltage offset I was trying to do like a 60 or something, it would crash right away. So I don't know if that's the voltage issue, so I was trying to increase very little by every 5 and maybe 2 millivolts each time, just to make sure it doesn't crash, because it's apparently when it crashes it would just start receiving hash rate. There is no change in accepted shares, and I know machine's not working. But going like past 825 or 850 clock, so when this machine is like around 841, you could see the hash rate keeping very stable. It will increase very slowly. It's not gonna jump high right away. It will take very long time to get there. But what's cool is on the pool is actually reporting a lot better hash rate after it's accepting these clocks, right? So you could see 24 hours like 350 here, which over here is supposed to get already by around 405, just because I did a lot of changes. Every time machine is kind of starts from zero, it would just take the clocks and it will start hashing again after a minute. So there's a delay in accepted shares, and obviously the pool reports a little drop on the hash rate. Like you could see this machine is reporting a lot higher hash rate than this overall, and this RX0 is like 342, right? So that's what it causing. Basically every time you apply your hash rate, clocks, your hash rate on the pool will drop, because it's kind of you restarting for a minute your ASIC, right? So not really restarting, but you kind of taking over from zero, and then accepted shares will start increasing. So I'm not gonna go over of modding. It's really, I have 4 of the machines not really modded at all. I don't even have specific fans, just internal fans. But what I noticed, like keeping them lower than 80, even like 75, you can set the target temperature there in PB Farmers firmware. But that's where I start to get a little bit of friction here, trying to keep my chips here cooler, on especially on the higher overclocks, because before I had a lot of the crashes there going. See how the unstable hash rate, it fluctuate a lot. It went to 462 here at some point, and then dropped to 394, back to 423, and now 375. It would always drop to like 373 to 375 roughly here every single time, and it just goes up again. So that's what makes it kind of really unstable here, at least on the WebGUI. The other machines that I am under 850 clocks, it's pretty stable, at least here on the WebGUI. I don't know how the pool takes it, but looks like pool is actually takes a little bit differently, and it's fluctuate a lot different on the pool. I'm using the hum pool here, but you could see like RX03, it's not really overclocked a lot, but it's doing right now pretty bad for an hour, like 260. But I only overclocked to 50 extra 50 clocks, because it's on the solar. I don't have too much power there, so I'm just kind of, for the test, I did a little bit of overclock. But 24 hours, it's still higher. It used to be 270, now it's like 286. So it's pretty efficient in my opinion for my solar there on RX-03. So anyways, let's go back to modding. So if you're interested of watching the mod video, or like Greater Good Mining posted out really a lot of videos about how to mod, and he recently posted this overclock RX0 miner, so you can go ahead and check it out, his videos. He's done a lot of those, so really cool videos, so go check Greater Good Mining and also Discord channel for updates. Now what I want to talk about the efficiency a little bit, just give you guys heads up, this it's not released this overclocks yet, but just kind of in a test mode. But I just want to show you what we went through with PB Farmer. And at some point I actually even bricked one of my miner. Saying brick, it's basically erase my firmware completely from NAND. So I posted the video replacing the NAND. I'll show you in a sec. So I did post the video replacing this NAND, so I had to completely remove this and put the new, put the firmware on this NAND and reinstall it back. Basically flush it and reinstall it. That was the only kind of way available. Now PB Farmer has a new option. I don't know if he's gonna post some of that stuff, but you can potentially replace the firmware on this NAND without unsoldering. There's more equipment required and more stuff that to get to it, but it's still possible. Looks like he just done it. Also, besides that, it's just another thing. What we've done is the testing that I guys want to show you. So gonna go back to my miners here. So on this miner specific, that's the one I bricked before and I replaced the NAND. I'm still doing that test, crazy test, because this is modded, so I don't kind of worry about my power stages, just trying to watch the temperatures that to keep it cool, and also cool down the chips just to get the better idea if the chips likes to be a little bit cooler on this one. Going over 80s actually was really unstable on this higher clocks, you know. So let's take a look. I'm show you guys my download file. Look at that. This is how much we had to test. So look how many firmware that we tested. So is over 60 probably at least, right? Let's see how many files there. 56 items, right? 56 items. 52 selected, and we had 51 firmware tested. Pretty much PB Farmer worked day and night, and I tested with him all these firmwares going from pretty much the first one to 51, and then there was 5 in between the initials, and the clocks would, you know, just failed. He would have to redesign firmware, so it takes a lot of time. 3 weeks, I believe, at least spent, or even over 3 weeks before he got his RX0 and was able to figure out the chips different frequency. There was something with the frequency he mentioned. So anyways, there was so much time he put into it, you know, designing this firmware. Apparently different, you know, chips, different clocks, different algorithm. Everything is on RX0 is different, even though it seems like it's the same board, same hashing board, same processor, so to speak, on the machine, but you could see how much you have to put into it. So anyways, after all this time, obviously everybody was waiting like, hey, what's going on? But look how many firmwares you have to write, and in every firmware you have to change lots of codes and stuff just to, before you can even test it. It's like, it's crazy amount of time that he put. I was testing this, you know, like putting the clocks, getting the information from the chip, sending it to PB Farmer so he could actually change the data and create the new test file. So it's a lot of time to put into it. I did a lot of tests too, so pretty much I think sometimes we tested like 4 or 5 firmwares a day at some point, you know, getting some information from the miner. We each had to do some command with PuTTY, SSH into it and get some of the stuff to be able to pull some information, and then we use some other program to get some information from the miner to be able to get some more log files. And all that energy, you know, you put into it is just, it didn't work for almost 3 weeks, right, until he got this finally working, figuring out by getting the actual RX0. I don't know, that probably helped him a lot because of the figuring the chips, you know, clocks, why would not accept it. So what was happening is as long as I install firmware and it working fine until I change. So even if I add 10 megahertz to clocks, it would just basically freeze the chips and freeze the miner. It would not accept any more shares. That was voltages we played first. The voltages seem to work. They just do not report individual voltage. So we have basically 12 voltages divided by whatever quantity. So the voltages is like reporting by 3, because it's the 3 4 chips times 3, right? So there, or 3 or times 4, I can't remember. So anyways, had to figure out the voltages, had to figure out how the hash rate, the chips clocks works, and all that stuff. But the hash rate was not going anywhere, and the miner would freeze at any time we change the clock. So anyways, now finally, I think it's in the final tuning stage, I guess. That's what PB Farmer is doing with that. We are on the test version, and obviously Greater Good Miner just posted video as well. In this video I want to go over, I just posted one that showing you guys that it works, but I created the Excel file just for you. You can pause here and just check it out what I had. So I did start on 25, not really for a long time, just for a little bit. I think it's just like extra maybe 5 watts. And this last column for me is most important, like if you're if the efficiency part, just because of the if rewards is not big, you know, you can just kind of go back here and see if it's worth it for your power usage, you know, your power cost of electricity. You may not gonna worth to overclock too much. Plus you also gonna get more wattage probably used because of the cooling, extra fans and stuff like that. So that's, I didn't account for extra fans power, but over here I think it's actually 220 because I do run the fan. And this is at the 12 volts power usage. Here I added like 10% for extra because my power meter set up directly at 12 volts. So when I show you guys this monitor tool, right? I mean my cameras, you could see what's going on there. I have to go back and open. All right, so it shows you right here. I'm gonna show this right there. That's a 210 volt. That's a 12 volt reading. So that's not really what you're getting on your at your wall. So your wall gonna be probably 10% more. And same with my other one, the RX01, that it's not modded. It's 145 right now watts, so it's probably 155. And so I'm gonna show you some of my, this is my RX0 there on the top. So now let's go back to the sheet. So as I overclocked, so my RX0, the solar one, it's running on the just plus 51 clocks. So the first one is just a little bit, not really added the voltage, maybe 2 extra millivolts. On the 51 I added 6 millivolts here. Just for test. I don't think you even need that much of the voltages there at the first beginning stages. You can probably run with 0 extra voltage, but it runs about 120 watts. So the efficiency here, the higher gigahash per watt we get, it's better it is efficiency wise. a lot of time you would see joules per watt. It's different, so you divide your wattage by hash rate. Then the lower the number is better. So in my case, what I like to do is how many gigahash per watt I get. So the higher number, more gigahash I get per watt, it's better it is. So just pay attention. There's different way to calculate your efficiency. So a lot of time you will see like, oh, lower number is better. Not in this case, not gigahash per watt. It's the watt per joule. So the or joules per hash. It's different weights when you divide your power by hash rate. So if we create another formula here, we'll divide wattage by, and the lower number here in this column will be, so that's like, we can do that one as well, and the lower number the better it is, obviously. So that would be the best number here, the best efficiency, and that's the, it's either watt per gigahash, or called also joules, I believe, per gigahash. I don't remember. Anyway, so that's a different way to calculate efficiency. So just pay attention on those numbers, because a lot of time it's confusing. A lot of people using, or YouTubers using this type of efficiency. I prefer like gigahash. What's really hash rate I'm getting per each watt, right? So kind of easier to me, kind of more straightforward. Anyways, everybody get used to different numbers, but let's go from 51. So then I kind of skipped a little bit here because there's no point just running in between. I was trying to find all these hashes there as more stable, just to find really where I can get the stable hash rate. What I mean by stable is having my chips right there, right? The hash rate here more of a stable, all the temperatures like in the similar range, so it doesn't jump up. So at 190, at 163, and then I went to 193 plus on the clocks. So look at the hash rate. It's kind of like one straight line. There is no, chips doesn't go up and down here. They're pretty stable on the power stages. By the way, this is not modded unit, and like a chip's temperatures like plus minus are kind of stable, right? So that's where I was more interested into to get the here on this information. So really a little bit of the voltage increase. This is just only, you could see 16 plus, right? So 163 on the clocks, plus, should put clocks here too, plus on the clocks. How much clock we adding? It's in the firmware, right? So plus 25, so plus 51 and plus 163. So I believe this is a pretty good efficiency here. Compare even to original, you know, I was really surprised because I'm getting on the pool 340. It's not the highest, I mean, it's still pretty good efficiency compared to originals, but it's lower. So I'm getting around 309 hash on 24 hours, right? Which is pretty cool. And then on the other machine I put 193, and I'm getting almost 350 at just 150 watts. So I believe this is a pretty good numbers there. And then going after that, the efficiency probably gonna drop there dramatically unless we can stabilize the hash rate. And so far this is like the last two lines there is the more testing to do, figuring out the voltage versus the clock's original settings. So really is the last two line is really into the, well, actually 213 is the one that I'm trying to see if it's going to be stable, and it looks like it is. I just recently added, I did 213 and 16. I kept at 16 millivolts. Really not much change in the voltages, and it still keeps machine running which is really, really cool to see. Now, the hash rate didn't really go up much, so I don't know, maybe because it needs a little bit voltage, it doesn't crush the chip. So typically without the voltages, the chips would just drop your hash rate, but it didn't increase hash rate. So I may need to, beside that, adjust, maybe get like 18 millivolts, because I think it's really, really low for that frequency. Maybe that's why I'm not getting an extra, supposedly an extra hash rate. So I'm gonna try like to go by 2 millivolts, see if I get more friction there, and especially on the pool. I'm trying to see, like, do I get on the pool better rates? It was getting almost to 350, but it looks like it's on the pool. It's recently just dropped a little bit on my RX. Well, not really, just see how the pool reports completely different what I see on the web GUI. It's like 376 on this RX01, right? And 331 on the 1 hour, 347 still there. So really need to give another 24-hour probably run on this machine. And also like this one I increased a little bit and look like hash rate not really going up a lot. So from 409, what we see on the web GUI, it shows a lot higher hash rate there, but not on the pool. That could be a problem. We just see a higher hash rate there, but if the pool does not get that hash rate, what the point, right? You just running your machine really in a higher stress. So anyways, what I want to get is the efficiency and more of a stable point there. So if 213 gonna work all right, I may need to get my voltages here. I'm already at 402 here. So just to give you an idea, and let's check one more time if I'm at, yeah, I'm around 147 watts now as I added the on RX0. So 147, that's going to be 157, roughly extra 10 watts or so for the at the wall. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 160, because we're dealing probably a little more. 10%, that's the 15. So that's our efficiency right here, right? So it's not the most efficient way, but then you're gonna check your hash rate.no and really get on your ASIC, and like if you dial in RX0 there, right, and then let's check it out, the RX0 on our hash rate.no. Ice River, which is gonna go Ice River RX0. Where is it? Right here. Okay, so you could see at my electrical cost, we're doing 15 cents. So if we add in and it's at 260 gigahash. So if I'm running pretty much like at 400, you know, so it's 50% more, and we can calculate the wattage. It's running 100 watts here, but what's really at the wall, probably a little extra. Maybe not full 110 I'm getting, maybe 108 or something like that. But you could see that the efficiency we get in here, 2.5 gigahash per watt. Their efficiency here, 2.6 megahash, so even higher because it's 260 at 100 watts. So yeah, if we lower to 100 watts, it's definitely gonna be higher, but we're getting a little bit higher hash rate. So we're not getting 2.6 gigahash, it's showing 2600 megahash. So just the same number with the different things. And we're getting 614 RXD Radiant coins per day on this machine, right? So that's how you calculate and look at this profit, the final numbers. So if you change your power cost, if you are 20 cents, so you're definitely going to get different numbers there. It's going negative, so absolutely not at 20 cents. You want to mine this probably at 16 the most. Still 4 cents, probably 18, 19 cents, I would say my summer rate, 18 cents. Yeah, you're going negative one, so breaking even is at around 18 cents. So if you are at 18 cents, you're probably overclocking, not going to be efficient. And I would say not gonna make sense because you're gonna get less efficient unit and probably just lose the money at that point. So that just give you some idea there what you want to do with overclocks when they come out and stuff like that. So anyways, you can pause the video here at any time, check it out and compare to your miner. Again, here on my voltages I'm at 460. Sorry, it's not the right number. And am I getting 410 gigahash that I supposed to? Not quite there. I wanna probably continue with this test for another, just to finish like 24 hours on this machine especially. It was getting pretty cool, like showing 400 on the pool. I just recently changed a little bit and it dropped because I added now 200 and 328 and I dropped a little bit voltage, and I think chips didn't like that drop. So I thought that I'm already running very, very high on the voltage for some reason, but maybe it's not. I dropped only by 4 millivolts, I believe, 460 from, it was like 464. Yeah, just only 4 millivolts drop, and yeah, very sensitive. They are going with the higher rate. It's not just not very efficient. It's require a lot more playing with, making sure your temperatures of the chips, I notice, going really, really high until I start cooling them down. So, but this machine, there's nothing, no extra fans. Look, the chips are below 80, no problem with just stock fans. The power stage is really cool too, so there is no really issue right there with just going with 213 plus, right? Why did I do 213? Well, just because the chips, I like to keep around numbers here. If I do 210, it's gonna show like 848. I don't know, it just gets a little random numbers on the hash rate, and I want to keep it kind of round here, right? So that's why the reason I'm doing them all a little bit here weird way. Anyways, so that's it for this update. I hope you guys like it, and stay tuned for future updates and possible release when it's gonna get released, this overclocks. I may post another video, but anyways, think about it, how much time PB Farmer put into it, how much testing we had done, you know, went through this all stuff replacing the NAND. But if you like the video, click the like button and check it out, the Greater Good Miners video about this RX0 stuff. Like, he did a little bit of testing already, which I like to check his video. He's doing like a lot of stuff there. Anyways, commercial. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one. Stay tuned. Have a good day.